I think I've pumped that particular well dry.
Good night.
And you, Herr Price? You look a little wet.
Oh, I was visiting a friend nearby, and I thought that I should take a shower before the others arrived. I was a bit automatic.
Well, how thoughtful. Herr Price?
Yes.
Baron von Glau mentioned that you're a lawyer.
Yes. And fortunately for me these days, I have enough money to where I only have to take those cases which interest me. I enjoy my leisure time.
And what do you do with your leisure time?
I entertain.
Probably a dumb question, but what sort of entertaining do you do?
Do you like women, Herr Knight?
I've been known to.
I adore them. You might call it an obsession. The stalk, the dance, the bait, the hook.
And what do you do once you've hooked them?
Oh, you know. You're quite the pleasurist yourself. Or have I misled you?
You're probably just getting a whiff of the past, Herr Price. What do you think of the club philosophy?
It works, doesn't it?
Does it?
We're all animals. I deny it.
So you don't believe in suppressing anything?
Why would I want to suppress my urges? If your body wants something, it must be natural.
Well, what if you get the natural urge to rip someone's throat out?
Well, fortunately, my instincts run to pleasure. Of the equally sticky but less fatal kind.
But what about those whose instincts are fatal? Shouldn't they suppress?
I believe that nature handles that scenario when it occurs, Herr Knight.
And how does it do that exactly?
In the wild, when a member of society does not conform, he is hunted down and executed. End of mutant instinct. And its genetic bloodline.
Tell me about the other club members.
Oh, they're all right. Don't worry about Von Zell. He's a bastard to everyone these days.
PMS?
I don't know what his problem is. Oh, he's always been an arrogant bastard, competitive on the hunts, ambitious. But still, aren't we all? No, he was decent enough at one time. fact, he was Von Glower's favorite. And he was an asset as a friend. But things change.
And what about the other club members?
Like who?
Henneman, for example. I've heard he's in line for a position extremely high up in the government.
Henneman, he is a drunk. His days as a political superstar are over. My friends at the courthouse tell me that he has been marked for early retirement. One less politician to worry about, huh?
When did Von Zell begin to change?
Oh, he's been getting worse for a long time. I remember a hunting trip about a year ago. That was the last time I remember that we were all together and having a good time. He must have started getting difficult after that.
Seems like you've pretty much written Von Zell off yourself. Any particular reason?
Look, it's one thing when he insults the rest of us. But when he insults the Baron, nah. I heard him arguing once. When Glover told Von Zell he did acted stupidly about something or the other, Von Zell was furious.
What'd he say?
He told the Baron that he was weak. Bastard. I don't know why the Baron let him get away with it. I mean, I would have said something at the time, but, well, it was a private conversation.
Uh-huh. When was this?
I don't know. 5, 6 weeks ago?
How was Von Zell an asset as a friend?
He is a banker.
Are you saying he loaned you money?
He's always willing to help out his good friends.
Why would anyone in this club need money? I thought y'all were models of success.
Yes, well, fortunately, I took less advantage of Von Zell's hospitality than some.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
Yes.
Really, where?
Oh, I don't know. Just sounds familiar.
Will you tell me if you remember?
Of course. The reinforcements have arrived. Now you'll have someone new to probe, Herr Knight.
My brilliant man, good cheer to you both. Where's the beer?
Guten Abend, mein Herr. Good evening.
Guten Abend.
Abend.
Abend. Meine kleine Familie. How are you all this evening? Hello. Gabriel, I'm glad you could join us.
I need to speak with the Baron. Enjoy your evening, Herr Knight.
Thanks. I will.
Baron, may I speak to you for a minute?
What is it, Bryce?
Just the right size for the big bad wolf to come down the chimney. Unless he's already here.
Yes, Herr Knight?
Just wanted to grab a magazine.
Then grab one.
Thanks.
Ich bin sicher, es ist kein Reiter.
I can't read it, it's in German. That's a thought.
I hid the tape recorder inside the magazine.
Just the right...
Yes, Herr Knight?
Just wanted to put this magazine back. It wasn't very good. I wouldn't recommend it.
Immer so.
Ich habe meinen Nachmittagstermin abgesagt. Wir treffen uns hier um 4 Uhr.
Ja, so viel ich weiß, ja.
Ja, so, good evening, Herr Knight.
Henneman, Von Agner?
You care to join us?
Sure. Thanks. I've spoken to several of the club members today, but I haven't had a chance to speak with you yet, Herr Von Agner.
How tragic. No one in this club talks better than I do.
Oh, true, very true.
Perhaps tomorrow?
I'd be delighted.
I haven't had a chance to get to know you yet, Herr Henneman.
Well, I'm already beyond serious conversation tonight, I'm afraid.
Tomorrow's fine. Have you guys heard about the mutilation killing last night? Happened right around the corner.
Awful, simply awful.
I'd meant to get a newspaper, but the time got away from me. Do you have any details?
A few. The victim was a man named Grossberg. He ran a furrier business in town.
Horrible. You know, this zoo wolf business is inexcusable. The mayor has been spoken to, and quite seriously. Even the prime minister is concerned.
Did you know Grossberg, Herr Von Agner?
Me? Grossberg? Why, no. Why do you ask?
I just thought you're both in the animal processing business.
Munich is a big city, Herr Knight.
So it is. Well, I was just curious. So, what were y'all talking about when I came up?
Tomorrow's little excursion. Will you be joining us?
Our monthly hunting trip.
A hunt trip? Really? Where?
Our lodge is at Eppenberg. It's in the Bavarian National Forest. We leave tomorrow afternoon.
Well, gosh, you know, that sounds great, but I need to have my gun cleaned and...
Oh, there are plenty of guns at the lodge.
Yeah, Von Eigner, perhaps the Baron did not mean for Herr Knight to join us quite so soon.
Oh, hell, why not then? Baron?
Von Eigner?
Our hunting trip tomorrow. Will our new American friend be going with us?
Herr Knight? Well, I don't see why he could...
Of course not. He's not a club member. He's probably not even registered with the license office.
Nonsense, Gar. The sooner we get to see his technique, the better. We'll just slip him in, and he can register properly when we get back.
But that's not legal.
Since when do you care about legalities? It's only a hunting license?
I agree. I would enjoy Gabriel's presence very much.
Well, enough said. The Baron should certainly get whatever he wants, shouldn't he? Perhaps it will be an interesting exercise at that.
Ah, Herr Baron.
Gentlemen, excuse me, please.
I apologize for not getting to you sooner. Have you been enjoying yourself?
Oh, it's been loads of fun.
Good. I'm glad you're going with us tomorrow. We don't get started until the afternoon, so won't have to worry about staying up late tonight.
I have to warn you, my hunting's kind of rusty.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Was? I demand to know what you're doing at this club.
Me?
Baron Bonzel. Really?
Are you aware that this guest of yours has been asking intimate questions? Poking around in our personal affairs? He must be a reporter. Or the police.
What do we have to fear from a reporter or the police? Although I can promise you her Knight is neither.
You don't care that he's prying into our private business? What possible motive could he have?
Gar! Please. He's my guest. You're the one who's turning that into an inquisition.
Then it is on your head.
I apologize for that.
You keep defending me. I'm not exactly helping the harmony around here.
Believe me, the harmony was shattered a long time before you came. Bonzel gets territorial. I'm tired of it, frankly.
Well, I should go anyway. I wanted to clean up before tonight.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Oh,
Good night,
night.
I should be home soon. See you then.
wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before. Yep, English. Huh. Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive. He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships. The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult. In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition and loved to hike alone in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Schahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Schahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on, and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years. A hunting accident? Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved. A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit. His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by His Majesty, that should tell you who the young man looks like, at all hours of the night. This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880, when he fell into disfavor. The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of the diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate that Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation, yet it is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart and his conscience to sin. There's no one there.
Guten Tag.
Grüß Gott, Frau Nakimura. Ich habe etwas für Sie.
Oh, it's from Gabriel.
Ja, das ist vom Schattenjäger. Ja.
No, I think you... Gabriel is a working partner and... Never mind. Danke.
Bitte, brauchen Sie noch etwas?
Danke.
Bitte.
Gracie, you decided to come over. That's great. Guten Tag and all that. I'm sure you and Gertie are hitting it off. Thanks for finding the werewolf book. I'm not sure what it all means, but it might be useful. But Ludwig II, you know, I think you might have something there. Ubergrau says there are 2 places you should check out. Ludwig had a castle called New Swan something, and there's a museum about him at Year in Chemistry. Something like that. I really think you should spend some time looking into it. Don't worry. Things are going very smoothly this time around. I've tracked a suspect to a hunt club run by a man named Von Glauer. He seems okay, but I'm sure there's something going on with at least one of the others. Don't worry, though. I met a police detective named Lieber, so I have backup. I'll be finished soon. Sit tight and enjoy your visit till I get there. Gabriel.
What does he think? I'm on vacation here? And no address. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight.